It's 15 Minutes With, and I don't know anybody. I remember when I got into radio in my gym class, there was a kid who was 17, and he was on the radio, and I thought that was amazing. I was in Arizona. For one, I knew that's a pretty big market to be
Yeah,
in.
that's huge.
And be on the radio at 17?
Yeah.
You were on the radio at 14. You started your career
It's a little bit.
at 14 years old.
Yes.
Mercedes Ponce?
Yes.
Got it right. Mercedes Ponce. Mercedes has been here working at Titan Broadcasting. And was it Titan Broadcasting when you started?
It was not Titan Broadcasting. It was actually a Clear Channel station at the time.
Okay.
So, yeah, our group had 4 stations, Mix 107.3, 101.7 The Bull, KB AM, and KBUR was all in the group at the time.
Okay. All right.
So pre-Titan.
Not too many people start their career at 14. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that? Did you go, this is it. This is what I'm going to do.
No clue. Nope. I always...
Tell me the circumstances of how you got in this building.
So I always thought I was going to go into nursing. I always thought that was going to be the thing, a good job, good career path. And my mom, who has done childcare for now 30 plus years, one of her parents worked at the station part-time when we were out on Roosevelt. That's going to really date me there, but we were out on Roosevelt, and she's like, hey.
The radio station.
The radio station was out there. And she's like, hey, Cosmo's looking for an intern. Does your daughter want to do that? And my mom, being my mom, if anybody knows Robin, you know how she is. She's like, yeah, my daughter wants to do that. And I was like, what? Never even thought of that. Never even considered anything like that. And I went for an intern. It was the summer of 2005, I believe.
That the other adult thought you would be a good intern at 14 was... That's different, because at 14 I wasn't thinking about working quite yet.
I wasn't working yet. I was subbing a little bit for my mom with the daycare kids and doing that type of thing. Was involved in Girl Scouts. I was volunteering at Klein. So I was very active.
Yeah.
My mom's philosophy is if we can keep her busy, we keep her out of trouble. So So that's how that started, and I interned, and we liked it, and
You interned with Cosmo. Was he I take it, the morning guy at the time?
Yes, Cosmo in the Morning was the morning show in Burlington, Iowa for 40 plus years.
Did you know it? Did you know?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Did you know that show was big? Did you know who Cosmo was?
I had listened to him all growing up. So my mom always had it in the car. So I knew it was a big deal. I just didn't. When you're 14, you don't think like that. You're like, oh, okay, whatever.
Okay. So how did you think at 14 starting at a radio station? What did you think this was?
I just thought it was something I got to go do. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I got to go to work, and that was kind of how it worked. It was fun.
You started with morning show hours.
Yes, because he was in the morning. So I started from 6 to 8 before school probably 4 days a week, and then dropped down to 3 when my schooling got a little bit harder. And
you were a freshman?
I wasn't even in high school yet.
Oh, wow.
I had just about to start high school, so that was kind of. I have a late birthday, so
yeah. Did they pay interns back then?
No. Okay. No.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's okay, and it was just kind of something fun, and then the following year in I believe February or March. Don't quote me on that, but there was a part-time opening. And I was asked if I was interested, and of course, these were my buddies.
And you're getting old. You're 15 by this time.
Yes, I'm a whopping 15 years old. And so then I started part-time hours, mostly on KBUR, and then started kind of getting involved in all that, got a Mix at Night show, and was just kind of a fill-in spot for everybody for a very long time. So that's kind of how that progression started.
And now, operations manager here at Titan Broadcasting.
Yeah, I've pretty much had almost every single role here. But now that's where we're at.
I'm not trying to do math on your age, and I would never ask. So how long have you been here?
I have been here 19 years.
Wow.
So I don't mind my age. I'm 33. I'll be 34 this summer.
Yeah.
So next year will be my 20th year in broadcasting.
That's so great.
And it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
I think I'm on 30 in some way. There was a couple
and
years
you're 33 too,
staggered.
right?
Yes, I'm 33 years old. I started when I was 6 months old. So at what point did you go when you got the part-time, when you were on the air, when you had a mic in front of you and you were talking to people? When did it go, oh yeah, I kind of like this. This is cool. This is
As soon as we got me playing with prod stuff. So we had in Roosevelt, again, not many people would know this, but we had like this back studio, and people would go and track in there or dump stuff in, and I got a lot of time just playing with stuff, so I could just go and edit
with
stuff. With sounds, yep.
Yes.
Go edit and manipulate voice, and then I started on commercials, and I absolutely loved it. And it was something that was fun. It was something cool to do, and it was a lot of just play.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't play. It was very serious stuff, but it was a lot of play. I got to play around. I got to do cool things with my voice, with other people's voices, with music. One of my first big projects was dumping in the Earth, Wind, and Fire Chicago concert that they did back in 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And so I got to sit there and listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire for 4 hours.
That's so great.
Which would have been a horrible job for anybody else in the building. And I loved it. And I got my own little concert in the back room. I got to jam out, and I was being helpful.
And you say, for someone watching and doesn't know about radio, you say prod. That's production.
Production, yeah.
Yeah, that's with music beds and sound effects and lots of voices putting commercials together, but also putting fun stuff together, promotions for contests we may have.
Yep.
But back in your time, your stories and mine are pretty similar in the way that we both love production.
Yeah.
And mine was, I was the overnight guy, so I'd sit in the studio.
Exactly.
And I would like you said, I would play. I would play.
Yeah.
And then I think my first commercial was a car commercial that I started, Mercedes. I bet it was like 4 p.m. I didn't leave the station till like 1 p.m.
Of course.
My first 60-second commercial. Yeah.
You had to get it done.
And it had to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty great. So, and then when was your first full-time radio gig?
First full-time was, I think, in 2013.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, I think.
You put in some time as a part-timer.
Yeah, I put a lot of time.
Had other gigs?
I was working with my mom's childcare business. I was a waitress for a long time. I was a nanny for a period of time as well. So
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. Graduated high school in that time. Went over to Western in that time. I was driving back and forth for quite a few years, and so a lot of life lived then.
But all this time building up a lot of radio brain, which is so valuable in radio. I mean, it's hard to be a one-horse pony. If you can be good on the air, but you've got to know how to do other things.
How to do other things.
Yeah.
And
even if you don't love them. And you were building them all up, and you were from 14 on, you saw management.
Yeah.
And you saw sales.
Yep.
And so at a certain point, that was woven into you.
Yeah, and you see what you like and what you don't like, and what works and what doesn't work. I mean, I think I've said this to you 1,000 times. Everyone's brain is different. Everybody's brain works differently. We just need to find out how your brain works or how somebody else's brain works. And that really stuck with me, because I've seen so many people in this industry, and everyone's brain is different. And that's so cool. We just need to figure out what makes each other tick.
So let's dive in. Let's go back. Grew up where?
Here.
You're Burlington girl?
Yeah, I am a Burlington girl, born and bred.
Yeah.
Actually, so I don't know if you've heard this, but River Park Place used to be the old Mercy Hospital.
Yeah.
I was born in Mercy
You're
Hospital.
born here.
So I didn't get very far in life if we just hop, skip, and jump over. But
do you know what floor?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that I don't know. I'm not.
Could have been in that corner.
Yeah, I have no clue on that one.
That's so great.
But yeah, Burlington, born and bred. Went to Western for a little bit, but came back here. My family's here. We're staying here for a good long while.
You talk about your family a lot on the air, specifically one that has entered your family a little over 2 years ago. Is it 2?
No,
How old
it's
now?
only a year.
Oh my gosh! Is it just a year?
Yeah, she's 16
I just dated
months.
your daughter an extra year.
No, she's 16 months. So
16 months. It just feels like so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eva?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
Evelyn.
Yeah. That's awesome. Tell us how, when she entered your world, how that changed.
It changed
For new
everything.
moms.
So yeah, for new moms, it changed everything. And now you've seen that because you came in right as I was postpartum.
Right.
And so you saw me pumping at work, which is always fun. I had a very supportive boss and company and space for that. But it's a juggling match.
I felt like you could do it and walk too.
We can get into that. That's a whole other conversation. But there's portable pumping situations. And I kind of went to everyone like, hey, I'm going to get work done in the back. I'm going to be pumping. If you hear these weird sounds, that's what it is. It's okay. So we had a very chill crew about that, and I had conversations, and everybody was fine with that. And but postpartum definitely changes a lot. Your priorities shift. I had always been about the job, work as many hours as I need to, and she came, and I had to prioritize a little bit and figure out, this little tiny human being needs me, and work needs me too. But she's only going to be that little tiny baby once.
Yes,
and so that's kind of.
I hate all those people who said it goes by so
I know.
fast.
Well, Emma Rose, how old is she?
26 in July. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And it took a little bit to figure out, but again, I have very supportive coworkers. I have very supportive boss, and they've been on the board with me, figuring that out and trying to get all that lined up.
Family.
And
just second family at work. Yeah. Right.
It's very, and it's very important with the flexibility, or, you've gotten the text from me, Eva's puking. I'll see you in a little bit. Yes. So it's definitely a balancing act with that. But I think a lot of moms deal with that. A lot of moms deal with the guilt and the pressure and just trying to figure out how to make it work so that you're giving your best to work and you're giving your best to your child.
By the time this airs, it's almost Mother's Day. But by the time this airs, Mother's Day is past. This will be your second?
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
So I think we're going to go visit the flowers and do some eating. And she's everywhere right now. So she's running, walking, jumping. She's all over the place. And so I think we're going to go do a greenhouse and go get some dinner and just kind of chill. And
my wife's birthday and Mother's Day right next to each other.
That's tough.
If we go to Lowe's, we just go to the garden center. I'm
See?
like, here you go, there's your present.
There you go. Yeah.
But am I right, though, too? Tell me this, honestly, as a woman, does mom want a spa? Is spa stuff, you can never lose, right?
You
with
can't
spa
lose.
stuff. With wellness, right? Self-care?
Yeah, get me a massage. I'm yours forever. It's kind of
facials, all that stuff?
Facials, yep. We have, or even like a pedicure where I just sit and don't do anything for a half an hour. It's just...
20 years into broadcasting, and you love it, and now a new mom. But that does not stop Mercedes from traveling the worldwide. That has a lot to do with your husband.
Yeah.
But you're kind of adventurous in that way anyway.
Yes. So my husband, Jose, is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I talk about him on air all the time. Sometimes I worry, talk about him too much. But he has always given me the space to be me.
Yeah.
And given me the space to do whatever I want. So early in our relationship, I would ask ridiculous, like, can we go to Florida for this Iowa game? Sure, let's go. Can we go to Canada? I want to go see Niagara Falls. Sure, let's go. Can we go to Mexico to get married? And it's just...
So the spontaneity, he's into it.
He's into it.
That's awesome.
He's into it. I'm more of the planner, and sometimes that gets me into trouble, but... We've had a lot of spontaneous, random things pop up in our lives, and we've been very lucky to be able to take those and use that as adventures.
Yeah.
So we were just in India.
I know.
A couple weeks ago now, and
wait, are the pearls?
The pearls. Yes. They got a bracelet
for the show. She wore pearls from India, right?
From India, yes, from Hyderabad. So I made a joke when we were in India. My husband went for work, and then we joined him. And then I made a joke while we were there, like, "Oh, my husband never gets me jewelry. I just need a wedding ring. That's it." And then he went and got me pearls, and he's like, he took me to this gorgeous store, and he's like, "You pick out whatever you want." And if that doesn't make you swoon, I don't know what does. Like,
great.
You can pick out whatever you want. What? What? I can, whatever you want. Yeah. So it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So we've kind of, when we were discussing having a child and having Eva, we didn't want the travel to change. We didn't want to lose that part of our relationship. So we've been...
involve her, of course.
And involve her, yes.
Yeah.
Take her. She goes everywhere with us. So, when she was a little baby, we wrapped her on. This trip, we slung her on. But she's been to, 15 states so far. She's been to Egypt. She's been...
That's great. It's another philosophy of we can have a child and it's going to change.
It's going to change.
But she can just join this travel club because we're not stopping it.
Yeah. So we've been to Egypt, Dominican, India with her. And granted, things change. But it's so fulfilling and so rewarding. I mean, we were at the Taj Mahal a week ago today. And she was running around, having fun, meeting people from all different walks of life, making friends wherever she goes. And it's humbling and heartwarming to see that because you gave your child this opportunity. And I would not give that away for anything. That's just absolutely amazing. And having a job where you can take that time away and you have a good support staff so you don't have to worry about work while you're gone is a huge plus.
Well, it's wonderful and inspiring that you take those adventures. And it's got to rub off on other people.
I'm hoping.
We should do this.
That or I'm just crazy. I haven't decided yet. We'll take a kid halfway across the world.
What is radio? We'll wrap up with this. 15 minutes with has gone a little long. Mercedes Ponce is with us. She's been with Titan Broadcasting and Digital Group for almost 20 years now. What has it helped you get involved with in the community? What do you love, your community involvement?
Everything. I mean, we're literally at every single fair, festival, ball game, everything throughout with our 2 stations, which is amazing. Right now, I am past chair of Downtown Partners. I just won the Main Street Iowa Leadership Award 2 weeks ago, which was really, really cool. And that was a big honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have cried. I cried. Let's be honest. I cried. I cry a lot. But it makes you see things behind the scenes and see how much work and how much volunteerism is needed for these community events to go have fun. So it's one thing to go to a farmer's market every Thursday on Jefferson Street. But it's another thing to realize that there's a team of people behind that farmer's market. There's a team of people setting things up. There's a team of people taking down cones and putting up barricades and making sure everything works and everything runs. And to be a part of that team of people is really, really amazing.
And so then knowing all those people and networking, they might, hey, do you want to be on the board? Do you want to volunteer for this? Then you're involved. And
then you love it, and then you're really, really invested. And then I get to bring my daughter down to farmer's market and say, look what mom helped with. So that's really awesome.
Yeah. Mercedes, here's to another 20.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for your next adventure.
Let's see where we're going next.
Bigger than India. Thanks for being with us on 15 Minutes
Thank you,
with
Eric. I appreciate it.
Mercedes Ponce. Thank you.